want to talk about something that is really, really important in every wholesaler's business, right? We're going to talk about the keys to a successful follow-up and why you need follow-up and why that's even important and how to do it properly.
Let's wholesale real estate. We're going to wholesale real estate. If you want to wholesale real estate, then you are in the right place. You don't need no money. You don't need no credit. It's so simple that anyone can get it. Luke's gonna teach you just how to get started. All you have to do is learn and apply it. You are in the right place. You're gonna wholesale real estate. You're gonna wholesale real estate. So let's get started.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Luke Madez, Sa Passe, Nabule, and welcome to another episode of School of Wholesaling. On the show today, guys, I got you guys a special treat. Y'all know what it is. It is Special Guest Wednesday, and I got the seven-figure wholesaler in the building right now, the one and only It's Jeff Henry on Instagram, a good friend, and of course, he means business, guys. He knows this business inside and out. Him and his wife, Belinda, are just awesome, amazing people. Love them to the core in my heart, and I wanted to bring him on because we want to talk about something that is really, really important in every wholesaler's business, right? We're going to talk about the keys to a successful follow-up, guys, and how to actually follow up successfully and why you need follow-up and why that's even important and how to do it properly. So my man, Jeff, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Happy to be here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to have you, man. Always. It's a blessing, brother. So some of you may already know who Jeff Henry is. If you heard the previous podcast where he came on, he told his story, how he went from a 9-to-5 to now wholesaling 7 figures, guys. This guy's crushing it. So before we get in, though, you already know, for those of you who are new to the show, subscribe to the show right now, share the show, review the show, and most certainly tell your friends about it, all right? And
Absolutely.
Follow my man Jeff Henry at It's Jeff Henry on Instagram. You can follow me at Luke Madez on Instagram. Contact us, DM us, guys. We're good people. Also, if you want more content, go to SOWcontent.com. Get all the content you need. And again, it is Special Guest Wednesday. My man Jeff Henry. So to start the conversation, Jeff, I'm pretty sure the first place we need to start is telling people and explaining to them why following up is so important. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So the reason why follow-up is so important is 9 out of 10 times, not all your sellers are going to actually confirm and want a deal done right there on the spot. So there's deals that do fall through the cracks. And if you're not going to be in charge of actually following up with those particular clients or particular sellers, you're going to lose those deals. So you're probably spending a lot of money on marketing right now and having a lot of deals fall through your cracks that you're literally burning money. So once we realized that from our marketing and also tracking our KPIs, we found out that most of our deals were coming from the second and third touches of that particular seller. It wasn't the first touch, it was the second and third touch. So if I was a typical person in the wholesale industry and reaching out to that person just one time, I would have never closed on that deal, right? So until you put a follow-up strategy together and make sure you follow up with that person 2 times, 3 times, and maybe 4 times, then you're gonna realize, man, that one particular deal, I'm now closing, right? I'm getting these deals done. So we implemented that process probably in around 2018, end of 2018 is a strong follow-up process. And I can tell you right now, in January of 2019, we put a lot of people on campaigns for 1 year, and we literally just locked up 5 deals in January of 2020 from our drips and follow-up sequences that we had last year. So you see what I'm saying, that we nurtured that lead, you know, where most people would have just reached out to them one time. Oh, no, it's not a good deal. I'm just going to forget about it and move on to the next one and spend more money. So it's very important, man.
So here's a really good question. Here's a follow-up question to that, man, because you that is a very good point. Most people would just toss that lead away, right, or toss that list away and just be like, hey, this list don't work. So why do you think that is, man? Why is it that majority of people getting started in this business, they toss the list away instead of just focusing on following up?
Yeah, one or two things, right? So one, they don't really have the right mentorship to let them know that, okay, you know, just because you're not getting them on the phone right now doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a good lead. Okay, or if they say no right now doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good lead. Okay, so it's one is education, right? It is knowing what's right and what's wrong. Okay, and the second is there's a lot of new people are impatient. They want that push button and they want the dollars right now, you know, and I wish we had a magic pill and say, here, just take this red pill and all your deals would be closed. You know, that would be amazing. But we live in real world. As you can see, 2020 is a crazy world that we live in, right? And so the reality is that it's never going to be like that. So you have to make sure that now you have a lead that comes in, right? You just got to follow up that person, right? Because Mr. Seller, right? He might not be motivated today, but guess what? Tomorrow, he might have lost his job, right? He might have got divorced. You know, the motivation changes at times. So you have to make sure you reach those persons in the right time that they're ready to sell, because 9 out of 10 times, like I said before, you're going to call them. They might not be motivated today, but you know that you just pulled a motivated list, right? Yep. You know that they have taxes behind, they're in default, they're in distressed situations. But guess what? Your normal seller is not going to tell you that they're distressed. They're not going to say, yeah, I'm distressed, I want to sell my house for pennies on the dollar. No, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You have to continue pulling them out, especially when you're dealing with men. Men are prideful, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're not going to say, I'm going through some stress right now and I'm going through financial hardships, I need to get rid of the home. No, my house is perfect, you know, it's beautiful, you know, yeah, it looks great, you know, I was no way I'll ever sell it for this low, But guess what? You continue following up with that person and you realize and you build that rapport with them. Hey, John, you know, I appreciate it, you know, and I know you have a beautiful home. You know, what's the reason why you want to sell? You know, it sounds amazing, immaculate home. Like, is there a reason why you're trying to sell it? And then find their pain points and then follow up with them. Don't rush the call. Make sure you follow up with that person later on and say, hey, John, no worries. You know, we have many other properties to go ahead and buy. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and follow up with you in the next 6 months to see if you're ready to sell, okay? I'm going to touch base with you probably every single month just to check on you and see how you're doing, okay? Yeah, that sounds great. Boom, you get their email, you get their contact information, you go ahead and send them on a follow-up.
Boom, just like that.
Boom.
And, you know, there's another thing that you said too, man. I want to elaborate on this a little bit, dude. You mentioned, right, the list, right? Mm-hmm. You know you got a motivated list. So, you know, the key at the end of the day, if you know who you're going after, it's just a matter of getting in contact with them, right? It's just, hey, are you interested in selling right now? The answer is going to be either yes or no, right? And you follow suit. So here's a really good question, man, to follow that up with, bro. So in terms of following up, how often should you do that? And I mean, what do you even say when you're following up? Do you say the same thing?
Great question. No, it's going to be different every single time, right? So, you know, what we do is we put people in different sequences, right? So you might have a person that says, you know what, I'm looking for $200,000 for my house, right? Now, you know quickly that $200,000 when that lead comes in, that, whoa, this is way overpriced. This is more like market value, right? This guy's not motivated. He's looking for market value. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad lead, okay? So what you do is you're gonna put that person on a 6-month follow-up sequence, okay? And we're gonna touch that person, right? Every like other week, we're gonna touch up with him and say, hey, look, you know, prices have just changed up in the market. You know, we're gonna give him facts. We're gonna give him real life situations to let him know and try to bring his brain down back to reality and know that 200,000 is way too much, right? And just check with him. So did you sell that deal? Like a quick automated text will go out and say, did you sell that deal? Did you sell that property on 123 Main Street? No? Okay, well, we're still interested in buying, you know. We just looked up some cash sale. Looks like a cash sale in this property just sold for, you know, $110,000, you know. Oh, wow, you know. And then that starts putting in a reality, right? So we switch up the messages every single time. You're never going to call that person and continue saying the same thing. You know, you got to get creative, but that's where your juices start flowing, right? Your creative juices start flowing. You got to think outside the box, more like not everyone is going to be doing this, right? This is going to separate the good wholesaling companies from the bad wholesaling companies. Plain and simple.
That's facts. That's facts, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. Yo, this is great because you're touching on all of the very important parts that newbie wholesalers just kind of just skip over, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said before, they want to push button profit. They want to get that first list. They want to send out that first mailer, and they just want a deal, right? Mm-hmm. So in your experience, now there's many different ways to get in contact with a homeowner, right? Now, the big question is always going to be, well, hey, what do I do first? Do I just mail them every single month, or do I just call them every single month? Like, what do I do there? How do I even communicate with these people?
Right. You know, and that's a great question, Luke. What you want to do is when you're talking to your seller initially, you know, find out their best communication style, right? You know, most of the time they're going to say, you know, just give me a call. But you can also say, hey, you know, John, I know you seem like a very busy man, right? Frame him in a mindset. You seem like you got a lot going on. You're a busy person. You know, as I was talking to you, just got out of work, you know. Now I'm happy to give you a call every single time just to check up on you. But we also can just send you a quick text or send you a quick email just to make sure that we're all good to go. And most of the 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, yeah, just send me a quick text or just email me, you know, and then that's perfect. Because what you're going to do is set your system up to automatically send these people a text message and an email. And then what you can do is create a task to periodically call that person if they're not responding to your text or via emails and say, hey, John, just wanted to touch base with you. I sent you several text messages and emails. Just want to confirm that you did receive those. You know, we are still interested in selling. I'm interested in buying right now. So if you're interested in selling, we can make something work, you know, and then go through it like that.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And of course, the key here is that every time you're talking with the sellers, that you're building rapport, right?
You build a rapport. One, you become trusted, right? Why are you trusted? One, I am taking time on my day to continue following up to see how you're doing, and how is your situation shifting, right? So one, that person feels comfortable with you because you're constantly following up with them. Now, 9 out of 10 times you have these wholesaling companies out here that call these people one time and disappear from the planet. Right. And what most sellers think that all this real estate world is scams, right? They see scam radars all over this place. But guess what? You're not a scammer if you continue following up with this person 1 month, 2 months, 6 months down the road. You're still in business, right? You're going to still follow up with this person. You're still actively buying. Hey, John, you know, I just actively bought a house, you know, still seeing if you're interested in buying. Just checking in. No obligation necessary at all, and keep it moving. You know, and when people see that, when sellers see that, they're like, wow, this company is actually, you know, still buying, and they're not pressuring me on anything, but they're just constantly checking in to see if I'm doing good. You know, I keep telling like my students and folks that I coach and mentor that you got to think it about, right? Jeff Bezos has almost $1 trillion company, right? And if you look at how you do marketing and how he does market, right? If you go right now on Amazon and you're going to buy a hammer, right? You're going to go buy a hammer and you're like, damn, you know, I'm going to buy this hammer. And for some reason, you didn't buy a hammer today. Guess what? That hammer is going to follow you everywhere you go. You're going to go on Facebook today and tomorrow, check on your statuses and shit. And then what's going to pop up on your right side? Boom, that hammer. You're going to be like, oh, snap, there goes that hammer. And then you're going to go on like, you know, Twitter, and then an ad's going to pop up, hammer. And then you're going to go on Google and search, you know, you want to buy some furniture for your wife, and then hammer's going to pop up there. You're going to be like, man, I just got to go ahead and buy this hammer. You're going to click on that hammer, and then boom, it's going to take you to Amazon and go ahead and buy that hammer, and you're going to buy that hammer. So in your brain, it takes multiple times seeing something and hearing something for you to actually trigger, all right, I could trust this person. I could go ahead and move forward with it. Let me go ahead and buy it. Because at different situations, things change, you know? You're not working with a lot of impulse sellers. They're not going to be like, yes, I'm going to sell right now for 50% off. No, it's not going to happen. But you gotta play these mind games, and you have to work at it, man.
We call those unicorns, right?
Unicorns, baby.
Unicorns.
Yeah.
Man. That's 100% fact, bro. Like that gets skipped over so much. And with just what you said and connecting the dot, right? For those who are new to this, to connect the dot to the list, right? You said something like, well, the person sees the hammer, they know they need the hammer, they're not ready to get the hammer. You know what I mean? So following up is just being there, so that way when that urge to want to buy that hammer is there, maybe it's on Father's Day because the hammer might be on sale, right?
Absolutely, right.
And your mistress knows you need a hammer, so she gets the hammer for you, right?
Or it could be that one argument comes and be like, I told you to get that hammer, but you never got that hammer.
Right.
We need some stuff nailed in right now. I'm like, oh, damn. Now I got to get that hammer. Now you're like rushing to get that hammer gone, you know? So
you got to pay an extra $14 for shipping.
Exactly, you know? And that's what happens, right?
Yeah, that's facts.
When you're dealing with sellers, it could happen like that too, right?
Yeah.
The market might shift and they're going to call you and be like, well, you know what? Now I need to sell my house. Well, John, I'm here for you, but I'm sorry to tell you that because of the market has changed a little bit, our buying criteria has changed a little bit. You know, I gave you an offer for $60,000 a year ago. Now with the COVID stuff, I'm protecting my company. I'm probably going to have to give you an offer around $50,000, you know, and it's going to happen. Right. And we've done that. We've done that.
That's facts, man. That's facts. And so, you know, there's so much value to following up. I mean, really, you know, when they say the money's in the follow-ups, I mean, that's just marketing, right? That's just sales, right? Nobody buys the first time, and the ones that do really needed to buy today. Like it was really painful for them, right? So, you know, so here's a question, man. For those newbies who are just getting into this business, what advice do you got for them in terms of following up? Because this is such a crucial thing in our business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the best strategy I would say for the newbies is, you know, and it is probably the biggest thing is making sure that follow-up system is strong, because one, you don't want to burn through a lot of money in marketing. I'm telling you, I did it. It took me a while to learn, you know, the follow-up strategies and learn that most of my sellers and most of my deals were coming from the third touches, right? Second and third touches. Because I was that one person. I'll pull a list from list source. I'll skip trace it, run through that list, got 0 deals, took that list and was like, this list is crap. Let me buy a new list. Buy a new list and repeat and do it all over again. When I realized I was spending so much money on buying lists, I was like, man, I'm buying all these lists, but there's people closing so many deals. What am I doing wrong?
Right.
And I had a mentor that says, you know what, you need to hit these people more than one time. And so what I did, I bought a list from list source. Didn't get any deals done the first time. The second time, I continued to hit that same list again. Wow, changed. My response rate went up. I got more deals. Hit it a third time, same thing. You know, I got more deals. And so then that's when I realized that has to change. So what I would say for if you're beginning to be into this real estate business and you're a newbie, you know, when you're buying a list, you have to set a schedule, right? You set a schedule. If you're doing direct mail, what we did is we sent the schedule for our direct mail, right? We'll buy 3,000, say a list of 3,000, right? And we'll say, okay, well, or let's say 4,000. Let's just make it simple. 4,000. What we did would break that up into weeks. Okay, so week 1, we'll send 1,000 out. Week 2, we send 1,000 out. Week 3, we send 1,000. Week 4, we send 1,000. We'll break it up into 4 weeks so we can also monitor and track how well we're doing per week. And then we recycle that same list for when we buy it, we recycle that for the whole quarter. So next 3 months, we're rotating that same exact list over and over and over. And then what we did was just remove the people that said do not contact me, remove the people that actually wanted a deal, and then that's how we shortened it. And then we kept recycling that list. So that's what the process I would do for that, and as well as cold calling. If you're doing cold calling, you're going to pretty much do the same thing, right? We do batches, and SMS, you're going to do batches. You know, in cold calling, you're going to recycle that list. You know, we recycle our cold calling list, I think like 12 times. You know, we call that same list 12 times before we realize, okay, our response rate is dwindling, and our health on that lead is down. Now we're gonna go ahead and buy a new list. But we're calling those people constantly. So that's how you're gonna maximize your dollars and save money and stop spending so much money on marketing, because you have gold inside your list. I was literally speaking to a person not too long ago, it was probably about a couple weeks ago, and they're spending like a lot of money in marketing, a lot of money, and they're buying so much list per month, that I'm like, man, you're buying so many lists. How many leads do you have in your system? Oh, I have 60,000 leads in my system. I'm like, 60,000 leads in your system. How many of those have you even talked to? Like I got over 200 people that I haven't even talked to, and you're still buying leads? There's no reason to buy leads. You, in those 60,000 leads, you probably have a good $200,000, $300,000 sitting in that pipeline that you just got to go through again. So there is money to be made inside your own leads. You just have to make sure you have a strong follow-up process to touch them, and that's it, man. Yeah, man. And a lot of patience too, man. Patience. Like, you need, if you're gonna be doing this business, you need patience, man. Listen, man, it's it's like the turtle in here, bro. Like turtle in here, man. If you want, listen, if you want to be the hare and be quick and fast and do all this and try to get that push button, you're gonna cut a lot of corners to make everything happen because you want that quick dollar. You're gonna burn a lot of bridges along the way. You don't care. You're not gonna be in this business very long. And the people who actually are really doing deals, they're gonna know who you are, and you're not gonna be doing deals for a very long time. But if you take your time and you actually learn this business, you listen to your mentors, you listen to your coaches, you listen to these podcasts, you listen to everything, and you take it for what it is, and you actually put together a process, and you'll have a very long business, and you'll see the growth potential grow. From 2017 to 2020, we have grown about 9 times since then. Like literally, we've developed every single time. This year, I can tell you right now, from 2019 to 2020, our first 6 months, we have 3 times our business. 3 times. That's amazing, man. And I just want to interject real quick. Mm-hmm. How much of that has to do, how much does following up add to that growth that you're having? It's been the biggest part of my business, man. I mean, I live it and I preach it, man. If it was any wand to say, hey, this is it right here, follow up is, and like you said, it sounds cliche, there's money in the follow up. It really is, man. If you just follow up with these people, there's so much money to be made. I can't stress it enough. We developed a system in our CRM just for this, because I noticed on my team, I said, you know what, I had to build efficiency. I had to make something work for our team. And we developed our follow-up system inside of our CRM, so we can now push a button and set it and forget it and wake up next morning and realize, man, these people are texting and emailing us. We need to respond. Now they're motivated because we've been following up with this person, So it's huge, man. That's super powerful, man. Just even for myself, bro, when I got started in this business too, following up I hated it, bro. And it wasn't something that I couldn't do. It's just I forget. You know what I mean? I forget. You're dealing with new leads coming in because you're constantly marketing, right? And if a lead's not ready right now, you're focused on the one that's ready right now. And once you start building your pipeline up, you may forget. You see what I'm saying? And then that see when you're doing it like that, then it kind of piles up, and you're like, man, I got more leads coming in. I gotta touch them. You keep forgetting about all those leads, and they keep piling up. Next thing you know, you have 2 untouched leads, turns into 20 untouched leads, turns into 40 untouched leads, and now you're in this chaotic state, right? So that's why it's good to, when you have a lead, if you have a system like ours, or some type of follow-up process, right? You don't have to say, hey, Jeff has one, I'm going to use his. There's countless of people that do this. I just know that I do it very well because I'm also a real estate investor and I'm also in IT. So I know how I think of being a real estate investor. And so the beauty about it is you actually just set it. and you forget it. And it's okay to forget it and move on to the next lead, because guess what? The system's already still processing everything for you automatically. Like, you don't even have to touch it. So it leaves all that craziness behind where, like, man, I got to get back to that. No, you don't have to get back to it. Now you just got to wait until they get back to you.
Yep.
That's it.
Facts, man. Facts. As a matter of fact, that was going to be my next question, right? Now, you and I both know that this process, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to following up, especially when you're following up on a level that we're doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a good system in place to be able to track your leads and follow up with your leads on autopilot and make sure that, you know, you're touching who needs to be touched and you're not losing deals, because the worst thing is when you take a look at your leads, right, and you notice, hey, so and so sold their property like last week and they sold it for $10,000 less than you wanted to buy it, man, that's painful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All you had to do was pick up the phone and call them, right? That's it. So you know, to have a process in place that's completely automated for those getting started, and also for those who have done their first deal and just, you know, they want to grow, but then they're hitting that glass ceiling, kind of like I was, kind of like you were, right? And they need to break that glass ceiling and start closing more deals due to correcting that follow-up sequence. Man, can this process be automated, Jeff? I think you and I both know the answer to this because both of our processes is automated, right?
Yep.
We use a really easy plug-and-play tool, which we're actually going to be going over during this month's meetup. Jeff's going to be a part of this month's meetup, guys. We're actually going to go over following up. We're actually going to show you a system that is going to automate your follow-ups. It's called actually, Jeff, this is more of your lane here, man. So what is that term? You said it earlier, drip campaign. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, drip campaigns, drip sequences, follow-up sequences. We use so many different terminology for it, but we call it drip campaigns, right? So you're basically building a campaign out, and when you build a campaign, it's either, you know, we're going to send out a text and email campaign where we're going to say, okay, Mr. Seller, you know, is here. We're going to put him on because he was asking for, you know, $20,000 over what we're needed at, you know, so he's a more overpriced person. We're going to put him in an overpriced drip campaign. Okay. So what we do is build that campaign. We're going to automatically send him a text message and an email, kind of educating him about the market a little bit, and we put some drips in there and different content in there, right? So you can get creative with it. Everybody can get creative and think outside the box, and they can add things in their emails where they can click in, see the market trends and say, hey, look, these are recently sold properties in the area. Just want to make sure that you're aware of everything. You know, here's a quick text message to say, hey, you know, John, you know, I know you're asking for this amount, but guess what? You know, prices have fluctuated and we're still actively buying, you know, in this price range. Whatever you can think of, you can get creative with it, but you're going to create your campaigns and then you're going to attach that seller to that drip campaign, and it's going to automatically tell you exactly the days that it's going out, and it's going to automatically go out on those days, so you don't just forget about it. And so it's pretty amazing system, man.
It's great, man. I mean, it's fantastic. So, by the way, guys, I don't know if you remember, but Jeff is the person who's actually responsible for building my Podio system. So this is going to be truly powerful, guys. He knows this guy is like, he's a brainiac when it comes to this, man. Jeff, you already know, man, I rely on you when it comes to everything IT, man, because you're the man with this, right? So, but you're also a real estate investor. So what Jeff has put together, what we're about to roll out to you guys is revolutionary, right? I haven't seen anything on the market like it. There's nothing on the market like it because it's built around wholesaling, you know? So guys, as a matter of fact, check us out, right? Make sure that you join the Facebook group right now, the public Facebook group right now. Go to SOWcontent.com, join the Facebook group right now so you don't miss out on our meetup. We're going to actually talk more about following up, how you can do it. We're going to actually take you through the process, and we're going to show you how to put it on autopilot, all right? How to put the entire process on autopilot. Now, before we disconnect though, yo, Jeff, you wanna mention anything else, man? You wanna tell people how they can find you? And also, I just wanna mention this too, guys. If you wanna check out the software before we roll it out and before we show it to you, you guys are more than welcome to check out the website. Go to automateddeals.com and you guys can check it out. Go to automateddeals.com or automate deals, excuse me. Go to automateddeals.com realdeals.com, and you guys can check it out and take a look at it. And there's also a demo. There's a demo on the website too, right? Take them through it a little bit.
Yep, there's a demo on the website, so you can check out the demo.
All right, cool. But we're gonna take them live, man. We're gonna show them the real deal. All right.
We're showing the real deal, baby. Live action.
Yes, sir. So, Jeff, how can everybody find you, man?
Hey guys, you can find me on IG. It's Jeff Henry. That's ITSJEFFHENRY. It's Jeff Henry. Okay. I'm very sociable on social media, so you can find me. You can also find me on Google it, Jeff Henry, real estate investor, whatever. I don't even care. You'll find me.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Let's get this done. So that's it for today's show, guys. If you guys have any questions for Jeff, feel free to reach out to my man, Jeff. If you guys, of course, want to talk to me, check me out. Go to @LukeModez on Instagram, guys, and be sure to tune in. Go to SOWcontent.com and join the public Facebook group, guys. We're going to go live inside the group. We're going to go live during this meetup, and we're going to give a ton of value. And so is there anything else you want to add, Jeff?
No, man. Hey, just make sure y'all follow up. That's it. Follow up, baby.
Facts. Y'all leaving money on the table if y'all ain't following up.
Yes, sir. Because my system is strong. I'm going to get those deals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Jeff. It's always a pleasure, my brother, man. It's always love to have you on the show, man. And until next time, I'll see you later, bro.
Peace.